Trump gave Iran 40 hours to fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or he starts a devastating campaign to take out their energy grid. Their response tells you everything you need to know about what will happen next. They now have roughly 24 hours left, and while the regime sends baseless threats.
Trump, you are fired. You are familiar with this sentence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The central headquarters of Khatam al-Anbiya.
The U.S. have quietly moved 4,500 Marines into position for what could be the most impressive operation so far in this war. The USS Boxer amphibious group is already in the Gulf with the USS Tripoli, Portland and Comstock right behind it. These aren't regular warships. They're assault carriers loaded with F-35 stealth fighters, Osprey, rotors and armored landing vehicles. And the moment those ships were confirmed heading for the Gulf, Russia summoned Israel's ambassador, warned that this could trigger nuclear escalation and scrambled warships into the strait for joint exercises with China and Iran. Russia is Iran's closest ally, and even they can see what's about to happen. Since the air campaign began, the U.S. and Israel have flown more than 3,000 strikes against Iranian military targets. The results are hard to argue with. 10 warthogs are now loitering over the Strait of Hormuz, hunting Iran's fast attack boats, and Apache helicopters are operating so close to Iranian territory that Tehran can't launch a drone without it being tracked from the moment it leaves the ground. Shiraz Electronics Industries, the facility that builds Iran's radars and missile guidance systems, has been hit 13 times. 13 strikes on one factory because that factory is the only place Iran can manufacture the components it needs to rebuild anything the coalition has destroyed. Iran's missile barrages are down 90% from the opening days of the war. Its navy is sitting at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Its air force hasn't put a jet in the sky in over a week. America has enough firepower in the region to keep hitting military targets for months. But the next phase is about something different entirely. It's about choking off the one thing that keeps the Iranian war machine funded, and it centers on a small island that most people have never heard of. Kharg Island sits 15 to 25 kilometers off Iran's southern coast in the Persian Gulf. It's small, and if you didn't know what it did, you'd never look at it twice. But this island handles 80 to 90% of Iran's entire crude oil exports. 10 supertankers can load there at the same time. Since the war began, tanker traffic through the strait has collapsed from 24 ships a day to just 4. Over 200 tankers are sitting stranded in the Gulf waiting for this to be resolved. The oil revenue that flows through Kharg funds Iran's military, pays for Hezbollah, and has bankrolled every nuclear ambition the country has pursued for decades. An American company built it. Amoco constructed Kharg's export terminal before the 1979 revolution, when Iran seized the facility and turned American-built infrastructure into the financial engine of everything the U.S. has spent the last 3 weeks trying to destroy. Without Kharg, Iran can't pay its soldiers and it can't fund its proxies. The weapons Iran has fired in this war, the drones it has launched at American bases, all of it was funded by oil that flowed through this one island. And for the IRGC, which has spent decades building an image of military invincibility,